Is she joining us? Madam, ask her.
Yes, sir.
Coming. I request This is a wonderful day. We have been waiting for. Last 2 days,
Sir,
our institutions participated in the
Sir,
three of our
mic.
institutions. Mulugu, Yetur, Nagaram and Kalakurti students. They participated in the India Science Fest 2023. Actually, it is only
Sir.
because of the intervention of our secretary, sir.
Mic.
Prestigious companies, organizations, they had their exhibits, whereas our tribal welfare students also got an opportunity.
Value again, sir.
Oh, that's working. Right. Most of the times mics are not working, that is why I did not. So here, today, this great scientist, I will give you her introduction also. She wants to address our students, and one more scientist also wants to visit SOE Parigi, and he will also address our students. Before I give introduction, I request our Deputy Secretary sir to address for a few minutes.
Good morning, Ashish. You are very fortunate to have Darshana Joshi, eminent scientist from India. So, as you know that according to situations prevailing in Telangana and also in Andhra Pradesh, in Telugu states, we push them, the students, into one class, another class, in IITs and NITs. So after going there, so they have to see the practical equipment. So some students even don't know what is test tube, what is conical glass, what is V-red, what is pipette, so what is volumetric glass. This we have observed in ISER Pune also. So physically we went there. So that second part of that also, second one also, we are always try to get the seat. We are always observing on the end product. So we want to get the seat and we have to join. So that's all. So that is what we are doing so far. But after going there, our students are struggling a lot in doing practicals, thinking are comprehensive, and also other activities of the science labs and other labs. So comprehensive knowledge of our students is very yes. Okay, that we cannot find fault with the education, find fault with the students. So that is already in system. So our Puranas and Itihasas said that so many ideas gave. So those ideas have taken by our previous rulers, teachers or some other. So based on our ideas, they did so many inventions. Now, from that inventions, we are using of the particular equipment so many, but we are not believing and we are not thinking in that way, in such a way. So, to develop the scientific temper, to develop awareness on the science, Madam will give certain inputs so that the next coming days also, your BPC and NPC students, I think. So we need to focus on practical knowledge also. So particularly the session of Madam is to create awareness and create rational thinking in science. not in the rote memory, not in the blind. We have so many misconceptions are there in our minds. But when you study the science, definitely those misconceptions will be go out, and we will start the rational thinking. So that is the purpose of this session. So thank you, madam, for this. All these are particularly from Hyderabad and Kobunar areas and remotest places.
Are there any
Definitely
from Kama?
they believe on God, they believe on their own systems. So this may initiate to think in rationally.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before going into the talk on science, I would like to give you some introduction on our eminent scientist. Dr. Darshana Joshi is the founder and CEO of Vignan Shala International, an organization on a mission to enable the innovators of tomorrow to achieve their dreams by bringing science, technology, and learning opportunities to their doorstep today. An alumna of the Udayan Shalini Fellowship Program, Darshana holds a PhD in physics from Cavendish Laboratory, University of Cambridge. For the doctoral work, she was awarded the prestigious Schlumberger Foundation's faculty for the Future Fellowship for Women from Developing Countries. Darshana is also the first Indian woman to be elected the President of Graduate Union, the primary representative body of postgraduate students at the University of Cambridge, and served as a trustee of the university for a year. I invite her to give her presentation. I must give her clapping once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Shall I talk without the mic because my voice is very loud? I'm a Pahadi woman. We scream across the mountains. So, no, sir, I'm okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? All right at the back? Okay, great. So, first of all, thank you, sir, for inviting me here, for having me here. I'm really excited. And almost 15, 17 years ago, I was in your situation. So from there to here, I'm going to share how my life has spanned in last 2 years, plus the science I have been doing and exciting you about science. But before that, sir, I want to say, if any of your students get selected in ISET Pune, you can assign us to be their local guardians. Sure, I live 10 minutes away from ISET Pune. Speaking like people in our group, yes. So Vigyan Shala team will be more than happy to personally take care of the students who are coming to ISET Pune. So let us know, like we are just walking distance, so we'll be very happy to sort of help them.
We'll try to send, madam.
Yeah. So you take my number, everything, from any school, like not just this school, but any school. If anybody is getting selected there, we'll be very happy. And we are working with the colleges, social welfare and tribal welfare colleges now, to bring scientists to them and to make sure that the next generation of girls take over the world. So that's the idea. Before I start my presentation, I just want to know who will share what they want to become when they grow up, right? Do you want to tell? You?
What do you want to become?
What is your ambition?
Doctor, my ambition.
Doctor? Okay, thank you. How about you? Piche. I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Piche. You can tell. Will you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Huh? Doctor.
You are all baby students.
Everybody here wants to become a doctor? Okay. And how about this line? All doctors, huh? So many doctors. Do we have so many seats? Huh? How many engineers in the room? Okay. How many doctors in the room? Okay. How many scientists in the room? Scientists. Okay, good job. How many entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs, you know, entrepreneurs like people who start their own company, business. Not only business. Entrepreneurs, people who are disrupting, bringing technology and all. So somebody who will start up. So business and a startup is a very different thing. Startup is something that brings a change, a disruption in the system. So how many people want to bring a disruption in the system and start something new? Startup, how many people want to found? Telangana has a very active startup ecosystem, right?
I do not have that knowledge.
No, it's okay. Today we will talk, okay?
Yes.
So, English is okay?
Yes, ma'am.
My accent is understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay. So,
You can now and then you can
Yeah.
speak in the mother tongue Telugu.
Telugu I can't.
If you can.
I can't. My colleague was to be here. She could speak in Telugu, but she couldn't come today.
Right.
So, if you have any problem, I can mix a bit Hindi, if that because and kunjum Tamil, I know. Swalpa Kannada, but Telugu अभी तक नहीं सीखा है. तो ये 3 languages मेरे को थोड़ा बहुत आता है. So when I was in class 11th or 12th, I also had only 2 options. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a doctor. And that's where we all limit our possibilities. Our possibilities on what we can be, right? So I don't want you girls to limit your possibilities. Prepare hard to become a doctor. Prepare hard to become an engineer. But don't let your dreams stop there, right? You may be a doctor who will lead the World Health Organization tomorrow, right? You can be that. You may be an engineer who's going to space tomorrow with ISRO or NASA, right? Or you may be an engineer who is developing the next generation of healthcare, right? So you are mixing engineering and science and biology both. So don't compartmentalize your thinking and your opportunities, right? So think broadly and imagine, because when society tries to box our dreams, we have to start thinking small, right? So first step for you is to, of course, go ahead and do something like the next degree. It can be a BSc, it can be a BTech, it can be an MBBS, it can be a BDS, but that degree should not limit you from where you can be, right? So when you go home today, open a notebook and write your dream, your vision for yourself. So I recently discovered my diary of class 11th. I had a notebook. I was just clearing off my parents' house recently. So I found a notebook. I used to write some inspirational quotation. Anything I would find, I would write in that. So I found one page that I had written, and I had written, when I grow up, I either want to become a scientist like Einstein, or I want to serve the world like Mother Teresa. This is 16-year-old me writing in my diary, right? And 18 years later, I have a PhD from University of Cambridge, which is like where most fundamental discoveries in physics were made. And I am running a social enterprise like a company or a social organization serving and bringing science to young girls and boys like you, right? So I in parts lived both the thoughts that I had. So I didn't realize it until that moment that thoughts are so powerful, right? What you tell yourself every day, that you will become. And this is me discovering a diary 15 years ago or 16 years ago that I wrote, right? So at that point, I didn't know that where I will be. Another thing which I wanted to tell through my presentation, if I can connect my laptop, a bit about my own life's journey. So I was born in a very remote village in Uttarakhand. So I will take you on a journey through pictures. So let me see if the laptop gets connected.
సార్ ఆన్ చేయకండి అక్కడ ఆన్ చేయకండి
కూడా లాన్ పెట్టాలి.
Here my connection is.
సార్ చేసి
So my today's presentation is called Redesigning the Future Together. So we want to recreate a future together, not alone, but together. Okay? And why we are talking together, we will figure out when we see all these slides. Right? But while we are setting up, start writing your vision in your notebook. Who you want to be 15 years later. I want one of you to be the Science and Technology Minister of Telangana or leading the Secretariat in central government, or somebody who, maybe a CM of Telangana. Why not? Youngest ever women CM of Telangana. Why not? Right? Those dreams, they are so powerful. They will shape who you will become eventually. Right? So, while this is being set up, I'll just tell you a few things about my own family. My mother was very enthusiastic learner, but got married when she was in class 10. Before even her class 10 result came, she was married. My father didn't study beyond class 10. He did ITI after that. And we were farmers in Uttarakhand. How many people know where is Uttarakhand? Oh my God, map of India. Okay, good. 1%. Where is Uttarakhand? Which is its one neighboring state? You tell me. Huh? Huh?
UP.
Take your time. Where is Uttarakhand?
UP.
India, of course it is in India. Okay, it's separated from a state. Which state did it separate from? Good. Who said that? Clap.
వైఫై రాట్లే వస్తుంది రాట్లా 50 సౌండ్ అంతా ఓకేనా దీనికి పెడితే ఒప్పుడు కాకుండా అటు ఇటు జరుగుతుంది కదా కనెక్ట్ చేయండి ఇది పట్టుకుంటే నేను కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాను టకా మినిట్స్ పైన పట్టుకోండి ఇట్లా ఏం కదిలియద్దు స్టోర్
Do you like the cartoon? Yes, ma'am. What is she doing? So, what emotions do you think this girl is showing here? Huh? Go on, I'm listening. Huh? You were saying something. What is she doing? Beating her. Okay, very nice. What else? She says she's beating. Then? Huh? You think she's angry?
Yes, ma'am.
She's angry. Good. You think she's curious? Like, I will do this, right? Determined. So more than angry, I think she's determined. Like, I'm like, determined. What would be the Telugu word for determined? Huh? Kanipetadam, right? So she's determined. She's so full of confidence that she will do it, right? So that's the confidence you all should think of when you are thinking of your dreams. There shouldn't be a speck of doubt. Medical admission हुआ बहुत अच्छा, नहीं हुआ, what is my next plan? I will still excel. I get an engineering seat, good. If I don't get, what is my plan B? I will still excel. I am determined to succeed. That's the one. Determination is what she is showing, right? So that's a determination you all should think of when you are thinking of your dreams. So a bit about myself. I am daughter of a farmer and electrician couple. These are my parents on the left. And I am first generation of a family who went to college. My parents didn't go to college, my grandparents didn't go to school. Right? So I was the first generation who went to college, who went to attend a regular college. My akka didn't go to college. She did private school, this thing, open schooling, right? First person in my entire family who went to college. And I'm a scientist today. So, doesn't matter what is your starting point. Where do you want to finish is what matters, right? Where you want to start from is what matters. Let me take you on a journey of where I was born. So, this is my village, Uttarakhand. Beautiful hills, mountains, Himalayas, and there is a beautiful river that flows down. These are some of the fields that my family used to do farming on, right? Then I came to Delhi. This is a government school in Delhi. Just like you are at Telangana Social College.
Okay, sir.
I went to this very special
Okay, sir.
school in Delhi
Sir, sir.
called Rajkiya Pratibha Vikas Vidyalaya.
Okay,
Which
sir.
was for students who are very, very interested and academically inclined, government school students, principal school students, they selected, just like you people were selected, we were also selected and put into very comprehensive training. So this is my school. When I finished my school, class 9th, I want to become an aeronautical engineer. Then I started reading something. School had a very nice library and I got to know about scientists. Class 11th, I decided I am not going to become an engineer. I am going to study physics and I am going to become a scientist. And so I went to a college called Miranda House. So all of you know about a new college now, Miranda House in University of Delhi, which is consistently the top ranked college in the country in the last 5 years of the ranking. And it is the best college for any girl to study, I would say. Like it just opened my world. Like I met so many amazing women, so many amazing people there who changed the way I thought about science. From there, I got selected. Okay, let me just go back. I wanted to show. So when I was in class 11th, this organization, Udayan Care, used to give scholarship to girls who were coming from poor families and want to do good in studies. So they started giving me scholarship. So they funded my class 11, 12 and my college. Then, so we were in Uttarakhand. We came to Delhi. Now from Delhi we are going to Bangalore. Okay. So this is a place called Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, Bangalore. Okay. So I got selected in an integrated PhD program, which is a 5-year program called where you do MSc and PhD together. And it is fully funded. You start getting scholarship. When I entered this school, this college, I used to get a scholarship, and my scholarship was almost 2/3 of my father's salary at that point. And I didn't imagine that I would be able to live an independent life so soon, right? Like so, here I got admission in MSc, and this is a place that in part exposed me to science. A lot of fights with family before I came to Bangalore because my family was not very okay with sending me all the way from Delhi to Bangalore. How will you live so far? What will you do? Girls don't go out. All those things, right? But you have to stand up for your dreams. You have to fight, right? You have to always, and I'm really glad you have such amazing support system behind you who will always support you. So keep planning, keep planning. Planning always helps. Keep dreaming. It just takes you places. So I went to Bangalore. So now we are from Uttarakhand, Delhi, Bangalore, right? From here, I went to Cambridge. Okay? So my parents when I came to Bangalore said, oh, today you want to go to Bangalore, tomorrow you will say, I want to go to US, UK, bhej denge kya? Will we send? So I was like, dekhte hain, we'll see what happens. And then 3 years later, I got admission at one of the best universities in the world. Thanks to my mentors who supported me, who guided me, I went there. And that changed the world. I met so many amazing people from different parts of the world, people who have come from extremely difficult, remotest parts of the world, from Africa, South America, Eastern Europe, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Like I met such amazing friends, learned, and I realized our stories are so same. It doesn't matter where a girl is born, the restrictions, the challenges, the limitations to their dreams remain very similar. And the only person who can break all those limitations is the girl herself, right? So you people have to think about it. So Cambridge. And Cambridge, where I became part of this foundation called Schlumberger Foundation. They give scholarship to women who are coming from developing countries. So I met women scientists from 86 different countries across the globe through this program. And they all had similar stories. Somebody used to live in a hut, from there went to another college, from there went somewhere, and then they came here. So all these stories just show that power of dreams, right? कितना आप सपना देखेंगे उतना आप आगे बढ़ेंगे, है ना? हिंदी इतना समझ में आया? Good. Okay. So I'm not Shah Rukh Khan, but still I can try. Right? So 2013 I'm here. 2017 I finished my PhD, and 2019 I was back to India, engaging you all and girls like you and boys like your age with science, so that they feel excited about science, so that they can create a world of their dreams through science, right? And in between, I won the election, as sir told. So Cambridge University has an undergraduate union and a postgraduate union, and I was the first Indian woman who won that election. Before me, the South Asian woman who had won an election was Benazir Bhutto in Oxford. So this was like and Benazir Bhutto was Pakistan's previous Prime Minister, right? So it's like, it's just so powerful to be able to show and explore like what you can be. I hadn't thought I will ever win such an election, right? It just kept happening, one thing about the other keep coming. And that showed me. And I worked with the Vice Chancellor of the university for a year, understanding how we can support students. And after that, I married a very interesting man. I'm from Uttarakhand, he's from Tamil Nadu. And together we are changing and shaping aspiration of science. So for girls, I'm saying, don't get into marriages early. Resist it if the family even is pushing you. At every stage it will come. Choose your partners carefully, because they are the people who are going to be a very crucial factor for where your life takes you. Right? For a woman's career, having a good partner is very, very important. So delay that choice until you are someone, until you are on your feet, until you are. So we both married after we got our PhDs, right? So that point we were like, okay, fine, this is it. And at this point, families were also okay. Like otherwise, girls in my family would get married at 20, 21, and I married at 28. So I'm not saying getting married late is a good idea or a bad idea. I'm not going to that debate. But until you are someone, you are strong on your feet, make sure that decision is yours. Okay? So now the end of part 1. Okay? So intermission. Any question till here? Anything you want to ask? Because after this some exciting stuff is coming. Huh? Anything you want to ask me about my personal life? I'm okay. Any question, anything that comes to your mind? What about you? You're saying something. Huh? You can ask me anything, like how was I scared when I was doing this, or literally anything. Please ask me something. Otherwise you'll miss the next very exciting part of the presentation. One question from this side, minimum one question from this side. So decide who is going to ask that question. Okay, comment. You can comment also if you want to comment anything. Okay, if you don't ask, then it will be 4 questions. One from the first half, one from the second half, one from here, one from there. So, but then it will go into lines, one from each line. Anything, like how do you get admission in this place? You can ask me so many things in these 5 minutes, right?
Next.
No questions. Girls from the back there will ask the question. One question, please, come on. Abhi tak it was chit chat, okay? Now we have to go and show some really exciting science experiments. So many things are there. One question from here, please. Yes, somebody saying ma'am, yeah, from here. I'll go home after intermission, otherwise if you don't ask me any question. How do you get admission in Miranda House? So many clues I'm giving, right? Anything you can ask me. Huh? Yes, please. to get a seat in Cambridge. Okay, lots of hard work, right? So whatever you are doing, do it right. 3 things become very important when you are going to places like Cambridge. Academics, you don't have to be super top of the class, but if you are moderate also, it's okay. Like I scored 65% in my bachelor's. My college topper was at 89%. We both went to Cambridge to do our PhDs. So academics, good academics, as long as your first division. Second thing, lots of good extracurricular activities, right? So you should take part in science fairs, you should take part in science festival as sir said, you should take part in debates, quizzes, whatever, like in college and in school and in the junior college as well. Third thing is your ability to show leadership. How your education at Cambridge will affect your community is very important for Cambridge. So these 3 things are super important. Okay? What's your name? Priya.
Yeah.
Thank you, Priya, for asking that question. This side is leading by 1 and give her from this side. One question, पीछे के, अच्छा group. Next round में तुम लोग कुछ बनाएगा question. Come on. Anything that comes to your mind. Did something come to your mind at all? Huh? Or you were not listening? Listening, huh? Huh?
This side.
Pardon? Oh, thank you. Good question. What's your name? Huh? Sorry. Sai Kirtana. Thank you, Sai Kirtana, for that question. When I was growing up, Kalpana Chawla was my role model. I really liked her. I felt if a girl from a small town in Haryana can do it, I can also do it. Right? So she was my inspiration. Then I was very inspired by our former Prime Minister, President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And then at each stage, different people came. But when I was in my BSc, I met an amazing woman scientist called Professor Shobna Narasimhan. She is a theoretical physicist in Bangalore. And meeting her, I was like, scientists can be so down to earth, so beautiful, so nice, so good at things that they do. And she supported me. So she is my third role model. And before all of this, my mother. I think she inspires me a lot. All the difficulties that she went through in her life. We had difficult times in house. My father used to drink a lot at that time. So all those things, bearing all the domestic violence, difficulties, she was like, no, I have to educate my girls. I have to make sure that they do well. So these people are my inspiration. Thank you for this question. Okay, this side 2-1, come 2-0, come on. Oh, what's happening? Yes, please, thank you. What's your name? Akila, good, big round of applause.
Your PhD topic?
My PhD topic is the intermission, post-intermission, but we will talk about it. I did my PhD in a subject called biophysics. Biophysics mixes biology, physics and chemistry and a lot of computation. And please note, I did not study biology beyond class 10. Only in my PhD I started learning biology again. So when we are saying that we are studying PCB and PCM, I won't study math, I won't do this. I think we have to keep an open mind about subjects. So in my PhD, I went back to the class 11th and 12th bio books and I learned a lot of biology. So I did my PhD in biophysics. You will see some of it. Thank you, Akhila, for this question. Big round of applause. Now this side has a pressure because these people asked 2 questions. You have to ask one more. So front people. Yes, please. What's your name? Dayanandri. Thank you, Dayanandri. What's your question? What's your question?
As you said, you want to first become an engineer and you changed your mind to become a scientist. What made you change your mind?
Good question. You can ask this question. These are coming, right? Slowly. So when I was in class 11th, I read a book. In that book, there was an article that was talking about how electrons, neutrons and protons can be further divided into something called subatomic particles, right? Those particles are quarks, gluons, muons, and they can be accessed at a very high energy. And hearing this, my mind was blown. I always thought electrons were the smallest thing, and I'm like, wow, electrons can be further divided into quarks. how is that possible? Why are they not teaching us? And then this article had two scientists' photos printed on the side. One was Rohini Godbole and the other one was Sunil Mukhi from TIFI. Rohini Godbole is a very famous Indian high energy physicist from IISc, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. She was in a beautiful sari with the specs just like madam, and I was like, wow, scientists look like this, because I didn't know until that point like what a scientist looks like. And to me she looked like, oh, this is like, you know, my mother also, right? So she's an amazing person and she's doing all this phenomenal stuff. So that article made me change my mind. It was that one article, one exposure, looking at a scientist and all the exciting stuff that article talked about, and I fell in love with physics. But and I wanted to do this subatomic thing. But when I went to college, I got introduced to a field called nanoscience, and that was like, wow. So gold looks yellow when it is big, but when you make it small, it can actually go through an entire rainbow color. So at some size it will be pink, then it will be orange, then it will be magenta, then it will be yellow, then it will be blue. So eventually it just, so that whole, so I heard about that article when I was in BSc second year. I was like, wow, nano mein we can change properties. Something that is an insulator can become a conductor, something that is a conductor can become an insulator. So that was very exciting. So that's why I went into nanoscience, and so that's how choices keep changing if you keep your mind open. But if you don't keep your mind open, you get stressed. Like, oh my God, I was not able to do this. My life is a failure. It's an end. No, nothing is an end. Everything can be a new beginning, right? If one lush doesn't happen, there are 10 different things that you can do and you can excel at those. So nothing is the end of life. Prepare hard, prepare well for the exams that you are doing. If it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, I have a plan B and I'll still succeed. Right? That's how you have to think. Good? Does that answer your question? Thank you. Good. Now we have two. Any other questions? Huh? You are waiting for post-intermission, huh? Okay, good. So now I have a question for you all. So what is this? Okay, spider web. What is this? Huh? Silk. Right? Silk moth. What is this? Okay. What is this? Jelly. Jam jelly. Right? What is this? What is this? What is this? Yeah?
Tires.
What is this? Okay. What connects all of them?
Go, tell me. Painting, I want.
What is common between them?
Plastic.
Huh? You have plastic here? You have plastic here? What is plastic in jelly? Oh my God, you're eating plastic. What is common between all of them? Okay, you meant jelly will be packed in plastic. That's what you were telling. No. What is common between all these? Anybody can attempt. And there is no right answer or wrong answers. You can try. Yes? Okay. What color? What color will you call egg? What is the color in the egg? Okay, it's not color. Next try. Sir, you can also attempt if you want. Any guesses? Like I want to collect
Natural and synthetic fibers.
natural and synthetic fibers.
Yes.
Sir is getting close. Okay, but you have said two different things, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But what is common between them?
Fibers.
Polymer. Who said polymer? Akhila. Huh? Stand up. Tell your name. Satya. Big round of applause.
No, I gave first answer only, ma'am. I said to answer that only. Polymers only.
You told them. Why
Yes.
did you tell them? Oh my God. So the cheating is not done. So, do you know what polymers are?
Yes.
What are polymers?
Monomer substrates are added to form the polymers.
Or what are monomers?
The single unit fiber is called as
Okay.
monomer.
All of you stand. You will stand. All the four of you stand.
Where is
Okay. Put your notebooks down. And come together. Come out.
Shirisha?
Come out. Okay, stand like this. I'm standing now. Okay.
Oh.
So the answer is all of them are polymers, right? But what are polymers? We will go to that. Polymer is made up of two words, poly and mer. Many units. Mer means
Photo
units. So this girl is a monomer. Okay? She's a single unit. Now she joins hands with another one. Okay? Spread out. Join hands with the other one. Join hands with another one. You also join hands. Now all of us are polymers. Right? So we have one unit which is repeating. Right? So I'm different color but same color, almost same size. So they are repeating units, right? This is a polymer. All these things that you see here can be divided into smaller units, like Satya, which can repeat itself in a direction and make these materials, right? So this is a polymer, right? This is a plastic. So I have a question here. You must be thinking why diapers? We'll know in a bit. So this is a plastic, right?
Yes.
And a plastic is a polymer, right?
Yes.
Now all these, this is a polymer. Can a plastic conduct electricity? Huh? No?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now this is a single chain of a plastic. Tell me why it can't conduct electricity. Or can I make this thing conduct electricity somehow? Come on, people at the back, can I make this plastic conduct? You are plastic now, you are no longer, what's it?
Satya.
Satya. You are no longer Satya, you are a monomer and all these are your repeat units. So how can I make you conduct electricity? Okay, I'll give her an electron. There is let me find the electron. This mic is an electron, right?
Yes.
Now this mic has to go all the way till there because electric conduction happens when electrons travel, right? So now this is an electron. I am a power supply. I am giving her an electron. Pass it all the way till there. No. How? You can't break your bonds. These are your bonds. The plastic will fall apart. Right? How will you pass it along? Try. Electricity is coming from here. Pass it out. How will you pass it out? Okay.
By the bonds.
Huh? By the bond. But how will it go by the bonds? Because this has to go to that monomer and then the next monomer. Right? What if I modify their chemical structure? Now instead of, what is this single bond? Right? One bond. Right? Now I make it a double bond. And there is a free electron here. Right? All are double bond. And a free electron. Another double bond. Free electron. Another double bond. Free electron. Right? Now pass the electron. Cool? So in plastics, when we go from like single bonds into double bonds by modifying, we can actually convert them into something called conducting polymers. And conducting polymers are a very interesting and new class of materials that is coming a lot handy into your mobile phones, your TV displays, your screens, right? So a lot of research in the last 20 years has gone into making effective, small, thin electronic devices, and a large portion of that research has been on something called conducting polymers. So sorry, this was not part of the initial demonstration, but I got really excited. I wanted to share. So this is a very new field which all of you who like chemistry can potentially study. Remember earlier TVs used to be this big with a little bit back, like if you see sometimes in the pictures, right? Fat TVs. Those used to have cathode ray tubes. From there we shrunk, we went into LCD displays, something called liquid crystal displays, and now we are at organic light emitting diodes. So these organic light emitting diodes are nothing but conducting polymers, and they conduct. How do they conduct? By the double bond. By the double bond, right? Good job. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. What are your names? What is your name?
Akshita.
Akshita.
Akshita. Akshita. You are?
Srila.
Srilata.
Jayasri.
Jayashri?
Then
Dayanandini?
Satyajit.
Satyajyoti. Good. You understood how it works? Now you are all monomers conducting electrons. So go ahead. Thank you. Okay. Great job. So polymers are a very interesting class of materials that are all the way from rubbers and plastics into films and our spider wool, cotton, even our paints. All these things are made up of polymers, and it's a very interesting field. It started with vulcanization of rubber when we made plastic tires and like rubber came into being, and from there this field has evolved so much that all the people in the last 60 to 100 years that we learned about polymer science is now being applied to biological systems, right? A lot of problems in the future of medication will actually draw upon the knowledge from polymer science that we have developed in the last 60 to 100 years. Because I am a physicist, I am studying polymers. It doesn't matter to me whether it's a biological polymer, whether it's a man-made polymer. All I care about is how this thing is going to behave when I put them in a certain circumstances. So my next question is about egg, right? How many of you have seen an egg being boiled or an egg being cooked? All of you have seen, right? Okay, so you will tell me, the girl with specs, what happens when you specs?
Spits.
Yeah. What's your name?
Sanjana.
Sanjana. What happens?
Sanjana.
Sanjana.
Sandhya.
Sandhya. Okay, Sandhya. So, what happens when I cook an egg? What is egg to begin with? How does it look? Liquid?
I'm saying Telugu, ma'am.
Huh.
First egg palagotanu.
Good? So that you mix it, right? Okay, then what do you do? Don't add onion and tomato, just cook it without No prompting. She will, Sandhya will answer. Yes, Sandhya, go on.
Egg palagotte అంతే.
Okay.
తెలుగులో
Are you able to understand what happens? What is it like? Is it liquid, solid, or gas to begin with? Egg. Liquid. When I cook it, what happens? Solid. It becomes solid, right? But if I take an ice cube, ice, no? What happens when I heat it? Liquid, right? But for egg, why should it happen the other way around? Huh?
Tell me.
No. When I heat ice, it becomes liquid, right? But egg is going from liquid to solid. Why is it happening? Huh? You can try. Are you saying something? Don't be afraid, Sandhya. You can think, sit and think. Okay? Sit down. Thank you. Big round of applause for Sandhya. Good job. What happens when you cook an egg? Why does it go from solid to liquid? Sorry, liquid to solid. It was liquid to begin with, right? In previous slide, it was liquid. Now it has become solid.
It is providing that.
Huh?
It is providing.
Who is that? What is he doing? What's your name? Saitya. So what is happening? Saikitana. Okay, Saikitana, what is happening to egg? Heat is providing, but heat when I give to ice, it becomes water, right? Why is it going the other way around? Okay, remember what I showed earlier here? What is egg made up of? What is the white part of egg? Huh? It's a protein, है ना? It's a protein called albumin.
Yes. True.
है ना? It's a protein called albumin. What is the yellow part? Yolk. It is mix of lot of things, cholesterol, lot of vitamins and minerals. I don't exactly know the composition. I can say that I can study biology, so but others you have to attend. But this is albumin, this is protein. But this also has a large chunk of protein and other cholesterol and other large molecules. And most of those molecules are polymers. Right? Think about the previous demonstration we did. What happens? Saikirtina. What happens? Okay, while you are thinking, then let me prepare something here. You can sit down, Saikirtina. Okay, compare it with water. Right? How many molecules, sorry, how many atoms does water molecule have? How many atoms does water molecule have? What is the formula of water?
H2O.
So how many hydrogens?
2.
How many oxygens?
1.
Okay, 3 of you come in the front. Who will be oxygen? You be the oxygen. 2 others will be hydrogen. Hold your hand. Right?
Sir. Satya.
Can you help me with opening this, sir? Okay. This is oxygen. This is hydrogen.
Sir,
Right?
sir to repeat.
है ना? One more water molecule I want. Come. So the you also.
Here.
Come. Come here. Why are you standing there? Stand there. Okay, these are 2 water molecules, है ना? I'm giving them heat. They are small enough, so they start vibrating, right? And they can go, hold your hands. 3 of them are small enough to go anywhere. You go in the other direction, right? So they can go anywhere when I'm giving them heat, right? But what is happening to our polymers? Thank you. Sit down, please. What is happening to our polymers? All of you hold hands with your neighbors.